Oh boy, this is probably the new Nightwave mission that people have been dreading the most. You've heard frightening tales of endless grind and frustratingly hard missions, so you haven't taken the plunge and started fighting Kuva Liches yet. But now it's a Nightwave mission, and you have decided to finally give it a go. So where do you start? Have no fear, this guide will teach you everything you need to know to clear this mission, and afterward you'll hopefully think, you know what, that wasn't so bad. And you'll also be rewarded with a stupidly powerful new weapon to play with. So, let's get started.
So I can do violent and messy, or messy and violent. Any preferences?
Before you can take out your first Kuva Lich, you have to create it. So how does one go about doing that? The first prerequisite is, you need to have progressed far enough into the story to have completed the War Within quest. Before you've done this quest, you cannot create a Kuva Lich, period. Once you've completed the War Within, a cutscene will play, signaling the start of the Kuva Lich project. After this event, Kuva Liches can be created by taking down a Kuva larvling and stabbing it with your Parazon. Larvlings can spawn in regular Grineer missions above level 20, meaning from Saturn and onward. And the way you spawn them is by waiting until you see a yellow light flicker during the mission, upon which you will have 1 minute to kill 10 enemies. If you do, a larvling will spawn.
Your way. It's the Grineer. Subject found. In our name.
Getting its health down to 0 will put it in a downed state, and then you'll have 30 seconds to stab it with your Parazon before it dies. Now, this is very important. During those 30 seconds, an icon will appear above the larvling showing you which Kuva Lich weapon the resulting Lich will be carrying, and consequently, which weapon you will get for killing the Lich. Since you can only have one active Lich at a time, and since taking on a Lich is a considerable time investment, you want to make sure that you'll be rewarded with a weapon that will be worth your time, especially for your first one. There are 16 Kuva Lich weapons in total, and some of them are considered among the best weapons in the game. In particular, among the primary weapons, the most popular ones are the Kuva Brahma, the Kuva Chakur, and the one we'll be hunting for in this video, the Kuva Comb. For secondaries, I personally recommend the Kuva Nukor. It's an absolute beast. There's only one melee weapon, a hammer called the Kuva Shieldegg, but it's stupid strong. So, if your larvling doesn't have the weapon you want, then simply don't stab it with your Parazon, and just leave it to die. In that case, no Lich will be spawned, and you can just generate a new larvling and try again. Rinse and repeat until the larvling has the specific weapon that you want to get. There is another really important thing to know here as well. All Kuva Lich weapons come with a bonus element providing extra damage. Which kind of bonus element the weapon will have is dependent on which Warframe you use to kill the larvling. I'll throw up a guide on screen, so you can simply pause and study it in peace. If you're unsure what to pick, I recommend either infusing the weapon with Heat or Toxin. Heat is good by itself, and pairs well with Viral. Toxin is also good by itself, and can be combined with Cold for viral damage, which is currently considered the overall strongest status effect. The fastest way of going through the larvling phase is to switch to solo mode and playing the capture mission on Cassini Saturn. That mission can be cleared in under 2 minutes, which means you can go through larvlings at a very fast rate until you get the weapon you want. And once you get a larvling with the right weapon, simply stab it with your Parazon and head to extraction. Once you're back in your orbiter, your Lich will be born.
You know, as I watched you hack my limbs off, I thought to myself, I really don't like this person.
You fight one gifted the old blood, the Queen's Kuva. Death will not end me.
The way to kill a Kuva Lich is by stabbing it 3 times with your Parazon while having the correct 3 REQUIEM mods equipped in it, and in the correct order. But before you can do that, you need to get those REQUIEM mods. The way to do that is by cracking open REQUIEM relics by doing relic missions on nodes in the Kuva fortress. There are two methods of getting REQUIEM relics. The first is by playing Kuva siphon missions. These will be located on the worlds closest to the ever-moving Kuva fortress, and you can also find them in your quickbar in the top right of your navigation screen. The low-level Kuva siphon missions all have a chance of rewarding you with a REQUIEM relic on completion, while the higher-level Kuva flood mission is guaranteed to give you one. You can also get REQUIEM relics as a random drop when killing thralls working for your Kuva Lich, something that you'll want to be doing anyway, for reasons I'll explain later. Once you have a bunch of REQUIEM relics, labeled from 1 to 4, you can run the relic missions to open them, giving you a chance for a REQUIEM mod as a reward. You can also be rewarded with Ayatan stars, Kuva, Riven slivers, which you can bring to Paladino and transform into Riven mods when you have 10 of them, and Exilus weapon adapter blueprints. Primarily, you'll want to collect REQUIEM mods until you have one of each kind, and there are 8 in total. Each mod has 3 charges that can be used on different liches before they break. Once you have your REQUIEM mods, it's time to start hunting your lich.
Do you have any idea what it takes to reattach severed limbs? You will.
Remember how I said that you need to stab your lich while having the correct REQUIEM mods equipped? The way to find out which mods you're supposed to use is by farming for murmurs, which will fill up a progress bar. Each time you fill the bar, one of the required mods will be revealed to you. This is done by invading the territory controlled by your lich, designated by a coat of red in the star chart. When selecting a lich-controlled node, you will be given the option to invade your lich's territory instead of running the regular mission. This mission will be a far higher level than the regular one, with anywhere from level 50 to level 100 enemies. And by taking out hostiles in the mission, you will spawn in a bunch of thralls, underlings working directly for your lich. Shooting down a thrall will leave it in a down state, upon which you can approach it and do a Parazon mercy kill. Doing so will add 1 point to your murmur progress. Note that in a public game, stabbing a thrall will grant murmur progress to everyone in the team, not just you. The number of murmurs required to reveal a mod is not static, but on average it'll take around 36 murmurs for the first mod, another 60 for the second, and another 84 for the third, totaling approximately 180 murmurs. It is worth noting that murmur farming will only reveal which Parazon mods you're supposed to use. It will not reveal in which order you're supposed to slot them into your Parazon. That can only be revealed through trial and error. By attacking a lich's territory, you will over time make it angrier and angrier until it becomes enraged. The angrier it is, the more likely you are to draw it out to come and face you directly. This is where you take your shot.
You tore me limb from limb, but I've pulled myself together since then.
Once you've damaged your lich enough and it's in a down state, you can attempt to stab it with your Parazon. If you have all 3 correct relics, and in the correct order, you will be able to stab it 3 times. Then, you will be presented with the choice to either kill or convert it. If you have the wrong mods, or in the wrong order, you will fail, and your lich will level up and leave, becoming stronger, and taking over more nodes on the star chart. Your lich will also steal a portion of your mission rewards whenever you play missions on a planet it's controlling. And the higher level it is, the more it will steal. The maximum level a lich can reach is 5. I will say that you should always attempt to stab your lich whenever it spawns in. There are 4 reasons for this. First, even a failed stab will reward you and the rest of your squad with 10 murmur progress, speeding up the farming considerably. Second, you could get lucky and have the correct mod slotted in by chance, meaning it will be revealed without the need for murmur farming. Third, a failed stab will give you and your squad mate some Kuva. And finally, by making the lich level up and take control of a larger territory, you'll get more mission nodes to choose from, which means you'll be more likely to find a full squad of players to help you if you're a low-level player and struggling with the difficulty. Also, failed stab attempts will not consume charges from your REQUIEM mods. If for some reason you don't want to stab your Lich, then shooting it into a down state 3 times without stabbing it will cause it to leave without leveling up. Doing this is common courtesy, because as long as your Lich is spawned in, other players can't spawn in their Liches. They're trying to grind Murmurs as well, so let them have a chance to take their stabs even if you're not going to. Do note that if a Lich spawns in, it will start converting nearby Grineer into thralls. Thus, it's usually a good idea to not take it down immediately, but rather let it generate a couple of thralls first for some extra Murmur before you take the stab. Eventually, you will have all the correct mods equipped, and through trial and error, they'll also be in the correct order. What that means is, the next time you encounter your Lich, you can defeat it. If your Lich has leveled up to maximum strength, you honestly may not be able to do it yourself. But with a full squad of players helping you, it should be manageable. And then, you only have one choice left.
You know, as I watched you hack my limbs off, I thought to myself, I really don't like this person.
When you've done your 3 successful stabs, you will be presented with the choice to either kill your Lich, or take over its mind and convert it into an ally. What that means is, the Lich will simply spawn in at random times during missions and help you out. And it'll be more likely to show up in missions where you're dying a lot. Converted Liches can also be traded between players. Now, this is very important. If you convert your Lich, you will not get their Kuva Lich weapon. You'll only get that if you kill the Lich. However, regardless of whether you kill or convert the Lich, you will get back absolutely everything that they have stolen from you. If you choose to kill the Lich, you will be able to retrieve the weapon from your foundry. Even though the weapon says that it requires a high mastery rank, you will be able to claim it no matter what mastery rank you are. And for low-level players, these weapons can pack a serious punch. Finally, you should know that Kuva Lich weapons can reach higher than rank 30, and therefore can get a higher mod capacity than normal weapons can. Each time you use a Forma on a Kuva Lich weapon, you will raise its maximum rank by 2. This can be done 5 times, letting the weapons ultimately reach rank 40. This will make them even more stupid strong. Good to know. And that's it! That's your first Kuva Lich. Think you have it in you to collect all 16 Kuva Lich weapons now? I think you do.